What if the NBA, the pinnacle of basketball greatness, was also home to some of the worst players ever to grace the hardwood? Yes, for every superstar dunking and dazzling fans worldwide, there are players whose careers were nothing short of a basketball nightmare. This isn't about just underperforming. This is about players whose struggles are legendary for all the wrong reasons. Today, the spotlight turns to the 7 worst NBA players in history. Prepare yourself for jaw-dropping moments, baffling stats, and the kind of basketball blunders you simply can't unsee. Starting off at number 7 is Cherokee Parks, a college sensation who was drafted 12th overall by the Dallas Mavericks. Coming into the league, expectations were sky high for Parks, but his NBA journey was far from what anyone imagined. His highlight reel, a moment where he embarrassingly made rookie Tim Duncan look like an electrifying Russell Westbrook, but not in a good way. Parks displayed virtually zero defense, and his offense was even more disappointing. How does a starter in the NBA average a mere 3 points per game? This baffling statistic remains one of the more mystifying mysteries of the league. Maybe he just needed more time to find his rhythm, right? Wrong. Cherokee didn't need more time, he needed a new career. Despite his struggles, he at least avoided making what might be the single most foolish play in NBA history, a dubious honor that goes to our next infamous player. Coming in at number 6 is Michael Ruffin, a player whose blunder is still talked about in bewildered tones by basketball fans. Ruffin once tossed the ball high into the air, assuming the game had ended, only for the opposing team to snatch victory in overtime. The kind of mistake you'd expect from a rookie, but this was just the tip of the iceberg. In his first season, Ruffin averaged a pitiful 2.6 points per game while playing 20 minutes a night. Normally, rookies improve over time, but not Ruffin. He never surpassed that 2.6 points average again, etching his name as one of the worst to ever step on an NBA court. His career fouls outnumbered his points, a stat so bad it almost becomes impressive. Simply put, Ruffin's NBA tenure was a showcase of inefficiency and misfortune. At number 5, things take a heavier turn, literally. Oliver Miller, standing an imposing 6 feet 9 inches, was a first-round pick expected to fill big shoes after the Phoenix Suns lost Charles Barkley. Miller had the talent, but carried so much weight that he became a liability on the court. At one point, he ballooned to 375 pounds, which slowed him down to the point of being nearly immobile. His performances were a disaster for fans and coaches alike. But it wasn't just his NBA career that disappointed. After the NBA, Miller tried his luck with the Harlem Globetrotters, a team famous for showmanship and skill. But even they found him lacking. The Globetrotters noted he had no appreciation for the mental and physical demands of their craft. To be so poor that you can't even cut it with the Globetrotters? That's a rare kind of basketball ignominy. Number 4 on this list is a player Michael Jordan once wanted desperately. Adam Morrison, the 3rd overall pick, was a college superstar famous for his scoring and incredible three-point shooting. The Charlotte Bobcats drafted him with hopes that he would become their franchise player. Instead, Morrison became the symbol of the franchise's futility. Expected to be a sharpshooting force, his NBA rookie season revealed a stunning 37% field goal percentage, with only 4.5 points per game to show for it. The Bobcats were so bad that the franchise rebranded themselves as the Hornets, hoping to erase the embarrassment. Morrison's inability to live up to his college reputation made him one of the most disappointing draft picks in recent memory. At number 3, we reach a player whose draft position was even higher, yet his NBA career was far worse. Hasheem Thabeet, the 2009 2nd overall pick, was heralded as the next great shot blocker, drawing comparisons to Hakeem Olajuwon. The Memphis Grizzlies saw a potential star and selected him over future greats like James Harden and Steph Curry. But Thabeet's rookie season was a letdown, averaging just 3 points per game. The Grizzlies did something almost unheard of. They sent a 2nd overall pick to the D-League, now G League. This was humiliating for Thabeet, who continued to decline, averaging just 1.1 points per game in his 2nd season. Despite being a 7'3" giant, Thabeet never managed to be a consistent contributor. His career became a cautionary tale of unrealized potential. Number 2 on the list is a player whose career defies belief. Sun Yue was a shooting guard and the backup to none other than Kobe Bryant on the Lakers roster. This alone should have been a golden opportunity to learn and grow. Instead, in his very first game, Sun managed to rack up 4 fouls and 2 turnovers in just 5 minutes of play. A disaster by any measure. Over his entire NBA career, he averaged a laughable 0.6 points per game with a dreadful 27% shooting percentage. Even worse, Sun Yue had more career fouls than points. He scored a total of 6 points in his entire NBA career and never recorded a single rebound. Remarkably, despite this, the Lakers kept him on the bench for an entire championship season, meaning he ended up with more rings than rebounds. Sun Yue's NBA tenure was so poor it almost feels surreal. Before revealing the worst player of all time, there's an honorable mention that cannot be overlooked. Anthony Bennett. Drafted number 1 overall, Bennett's NBA career lasted only a single disappointing season with the Cleveland Cavaliers. With a field goal percentage of just 35% and 0 defensive stats like blocks or steals, Bennett's on-court impact was minimal. He attempted to reinvent himself as a three-point shooter, but with a miserable 24% shooting clip from beyond the arc, it didn't help. Even more telling, every team he played for during his 4 NBA seasons missed the playoffs, as if his presence cursed them. Eventually, interest in Bennett dried up, marking him as one of the biggest busts in NBA draft history. And now, the absolute worst player in NBA history, Jameson Curry. Despite having Curry in his name, which ironically hints at greatness, Curry's NBA career was practically non-existent. He played a grand total of 3 seconds. Yes, just 3 seconds on an NBA court. That's right, no points, no assists, no rebounds, nothing. In fact, Curry was so bad in practice that teams refused to risk putting him on the court for longer. His entire professional basketball legacy boils down to one embarrassing highlight, being blocked by another player. When it comes to the worst NBA career ever, Jameson Curry holds the unfortunate record with no moments of glory, only a blink-and-you-miss-it existence. The NBA is a league of legends, but it's also a stage where dreams can quickly turn into nightmares. From Cherokee Parks' baffling lack of scoring to Jameson Curry's 3-second career, these players remind us that not everyone destined for the NBA finds success. Their stories, while painful for fans and teams, add a unique layer to the history of the game. Proof that even the greatest stage has room for spectacular failure.